my fine friends. We are here to do a foundation video again because it's my favorite again. I purchased the Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation in the Sephora VIB sale. And I said I believe I said it in my wish list video and in my haul video, that I know there are so many other reviews of this, but so many of y'all still requested that I do one. So ask and you shall receive. I have used this for 3 days, taken many notes. I'm going to use it again today. I'm going to do a full day wear test, come back at the end of the night and let you know how it is for me, give you my final review. This is 1 ounce and it retails for $40. And it comes in 12 shades. Not the biggest shade range. I got the color medium. It says it has a full coverage, that it's for normal, dry, and combo skin, which again, I can appreciate that it does not say it's for all skin. It has a natural finish, and that it is a weightless fluid foundation formulated for full coverage with a natural radiant finish. Okay, that's exactly what I just said. It says it's skincare enriched, gives a filtered finish with all day coverage without ever feeling heavy. It resists heat, humidity, and sweat. As little as 1 layer magically makes blemishes, redness, and discoloration disappear with an undetectable skin-like finish. It does have a doe foot applicator, and it says it is to make it easy to apply as foundation with even coverage. It can also be used as targeted concealer or to spot cover imperfections. It does not have mineral oil, synthetic fragrance. It's dermatologist tested, cruelty-free, no parabens, sulfates, phthalates, and I don't believe it has alcohol. Lots of different extracts, to help with hydration, elasticity, vitamin C, antioxidants, amino acids, beta-carotene fatty acids. It has niacinamide in it. Lots of those extracts are at the very bottom of the list. In fact, sodium hyaluronate, which is hyaluronic acid, is the very last ingredient. So just keep that in mind too. So I got the color medium again. We're just going to go right in. I have used this with primers all 3 days. So today I'm just not going to wear a primer. I am getting an early start. Excuse me. It is 8 o'clock right now. Typically I don't put my foundation on this early in the morning. But all the days that I tested it, I did, or I put it on even earlier. So we are going to go ahead and start. I will say I used my IT Cosmetics foundation brush that I absolutely love, the Heavenly Luxe number 7. I used my e.l.f. sponge, which I'm falling head over heels for this e.l.f. sponge. I absolutely love it. One day, and then I used this new Sephora Pro Domed Foundation number 78 brush one day. I love this too. So today I'm going to do half my face with this and half my face with this, because I will say this is one of the few foundations that I actually really enjoy using a sponge with. Typically I am a foundation brush type girl. So again, it has a doe foot applicator. It is actually a liquid foundation. This is the color medium. When I say liquid, I mean, it's like, duh, it's liquid. But I expected it to be a little bit more moussey. So this is medium. And I put it on there because I also want to show you that I do find this does either oxidize or dry down. I don't know, but it does get darker on my skin. I probably could have done well with light medium at this stage. But seeing as, the pool's about to open and I'm gonna get a little bit darker, I think it'll be fine. But right now we are just going to do 3 stripes on this side. I do have you're probably not gonna be able to see it. I had 2 breakouts right here that are healing. So we'll see if it covers that. Otherwise, it's mostly my redness that I'm looking to cover. And my hair is so dirty. That's why I had to pull it back. And I've got these little flyaways over here. So hopefully that's not too distracting. So I'm going to take the dome brush and I'm just going to stipple that in the skin. I mean, I didn't speed that up. That's how fast that blended out. With this brush. It's amazing. So you can see I am going to indeed need to take it down my neck. I've got a little bit of self-tan splotchiness here we're going to also ignore, but it did cover those spots up well. It covered my redness up well. So again, this side has no makeup, obviously is lighter as well, and this side is with the Wander Beauty foundation and this brush. So I'm going to take just a little bit more up on my forehead, probably more than I needed for half of my forehead. Now, I mean, I do have like a little sunspot / freckle down there. I can still see that. You can build this up a little bit, but it's not like Estee Lauder Double Wear full coverage. Like, it's a nice medium to full coverage, I feel like. But it does mark it to be like super full. So just keep that in mind. If you have a lot of discoloration, you can build it too. I just don't have anywhere to build it right now. So I'm not going to put any more product on than I need. So I'm going to put the same amount of product over here and take my e.l.f. sponge and tap it in that way. Again, super fast and easy to blend out. And I honestly feel like I get pretty much the same amount of coverage with my sponge. I had a little bit more redness over here to begin with, so I can still see a slight line right there, and I will show you if it can build up over that. But other than that, like, I feel like it's pretty even. I know some people do not like these doe foot applicators, and honestly, I mean, I don't disagree. They're not exactly my favorite, but they don't keep me from buying a foundation. If you absolutely can't stand it, you can easily put the foundation on your hand and just work from there. No big deal. And I would suggest, if you do have obviously any open blemishes, not to put the wand directly onto that. All right, so let's put just a tiny bit more just on this little area right here. We'll see if we can build that up with a sponge. Yes, we can. So if you do want that like super full coverage, I would just suggest doing a second layer because it does build up quite nicely. I don't even see that red line anywhere. So I'm going to put a little bit on my neck real quick. The only thing that I will say with these kind of applicators, I do find that it takes longer to apply the foundation just because I have to keep going back in versus, you know, pumping out 1 to 2 pumps because I know that's how much I need, and that being able to cover my whole face. I mean, we're talking like maybe 30 seconds to a minute here, so it's not life-changing or definitely not life-ending, but it's something to note either way. So, you know, Sephora on their details says it's a natural finish, but then when you get into what it is, it says it's a natural radiant finish. So let's see if we agree with that. I did not use oil in my skincare this morning because I wanted it to be, these little flyaways, the most true to finish that it could be. So I didn't have any extra added luminosity in my skincare other than, you know, my normal skincare. So you saw what my face looked like before. I do feel like it's more of a natural finish than it is a radiant. It has a slight sheen to it, but it's definitely not what I would call like a luminous foundation. And I have other foundations that I would actually call radiant before I would call this one radiant. So this is more along the lines of a natural finish to me. And I will come in very close so no one can say anything. So this is what it looks like up close and personal on the skin. I feel like my pores pretty much always look like this. Obviously, if I would have used like my Color Science primer or something, it would have looked better. But I want you to see with just the foundation on the skin what it looks like. So I do have a couple of little bumps right above my brow. I don't know if you can see them. I'm afraid that it's from my Revita brow that I've been using. I don't know, but other than that, that is how the foundation looks. I just put on a new swatch of that foundation right there, and then that's the swatch that I had earlier, right? Yeah. So you can see that it does dry down a bit darker. All right, now I'm going to go finish my makeup. I'll be right back. All right, so I have completed my makeup, and I wanted to show you what this looks like before I go on about my day and see if this holds up to the, you know, sweat and heat resistant claims. So I used today my so loved Flower Miracle Glow Satin Finishing Powder. And this is what it looks like with everything on. I did not use any kind of cream products over it other than my concealer because I did not want it to alter the finish. But I will say that today I used the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer and it blended out perfectly over this. So I don't think there's anything else to say. I mean, I really like the way it looks right now. I think it's holding to that natural finish. Natural. And we shall see. real quick, I use lots of primers and powders with it, but so far, and we'll see how today goes, my favorite has been the Jane Iredale Smooth Affair Primer and the Well People powder. Why could I not say powder? This combination has been my favorite so far with it, and I'll go, like, at the end, I'll go in why. And then, honestly, my favorite application tool is the number 78 Dome Brush. I love this thing. A close second is the L Sponge. That's why I wanted to include them both in today's video. So, it is currently 8:40. I have appointments. I have the gym. I have lots of stuff to do today. So, I will try to wear this as long as possible, and I will do a check-in in many, many hours, but for you, 1 second. I don't even want to know what I look like right now. I'm freezing, even though it is still like 80 degrees outside. I am tired. I'm ready to wash my face and go to bed. It is only 8:30, but I feel like it's 10:30. So I have had this on for now 12 and a half hours, which I think is a perfect indication of how this is going to work. It's a good wear time. I will say that the longest I wore it was 16 hours, so I will be able to talk about the wear time on that as well. This is by far the best it has looked in all the 4 days that I have worn it. I am starting to think that maybe no primer is the trick, or maybe it's the flower powder. I don't know. But I did use this with my Color Science primer, which typically works with everything. My Lancer primer, my Seal the Deal powder, my Chanel powder, and again, the Jane Iredale and the Well People. So here's my like final thoughts on this foundation. It is not everything I thought it was going to be. It's not everything it was cracked up to be on all of the YouTube channels that I've watched or the YouTube videos that I've watched on it. It is not a bad foundation. I'm not going to say that. I am not even going to say it didn't work for me, because today I think it looks great, considering I've had it on for how long I've had it on. I've worked out. I've done lots of things today. It's just kind of one of those hit or miss foundations for me. It's not one of the ones that I know no matter what I wear it with, every single time it's going to be awesome, because the day that I wore it with the Seal the Deal powder, I worked. I didn't work out, but I did work. I get really kind of hot and sweaty behind the lights when I work. And when I got into the car and looked at my face, I was embarrassed at how shiny it was. It was not a pretty dewy. It was like a shiny mess. And that happened 2 of the days. So it wasn't just, I can't blame it on, you know, a specific primer or powder, because I used different ones. So it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of hit or miss, and I do feel like more than not, it ends up looking really shiny. I did not read any Sephora reviews until today when I was on Sephora, you know, telling y'all the details of the foundation. And the majority of the reviews are just absolutely glowing reviews. But I hit the 1 star and the 2 stars just to kind of read it, and most of those consisted of makes my face an oily mess within like 3 hours. I look so shiny after wearing this all day. It ends up looking cakey because it made me look so shiny. So what I'm thinking is that it's one of those foundations that has some kind of ingredient that does that to my skin. I know that the Too Faced Born This Way is also one of those. It looked great for like the first 2 hours, but then I just end up looking like an oil slick throughout the day. Now, the difference is the Too Faced one, there was no like right combination for me as far as primers and powders. I just could not get it to work for me. This one right here, the flower powder and the no primer, I mean, it works for me. I like how it looks now. It's just one of those ones that I'm kind of finicky about. So I will say, I mean, okay, here's what I'll say about this. It says it is for normal, dry to combo skin. I personally would agree with that. However, I know there are YouTubers that I have seen with oily skin who absolutely love this foundation. So it's one of those ones that is going to be one that you have to try out, that I can't specifically say if you have oily skin, stay away from this, because I, again, have heard people that love it who have oily skin. So it's going to be kind of hard. One thing I will say that is a huge pro for this is that it absolutely, under no circumstances, sinks into my smile lines. None of the 4 days. And typically when I'm working, I'm smiling the most because I'm talking the most and I'm laughing and I'm having fun. And so even, you know, my best foundations will sink after a day of work, and I did not have any sinkage. I mean, even right now, I'm going to get up close. Let's see if I can get that light. Ooh, hello, light. Gives you a better idea. So 12 and a half hours, but my smile lines, now this side is a little more pronounced than this side just because I'm apparently aging faster on this side. But I mean, there's no sinking, and I've had this on for 12 and a half hours. I haven't touched up one time. So that's a huge plus for me. So in that case, I would say it would be actually good for more mature skin because it absolutely does not sink into fine lines and wrinkles. So my final verdict is it's a good foundation. I don't dislike it. I'm certainly not returning it. It's just not one of the ones I get like super excited about wearing. Because I think because I don't know whether or not it's going to work. Now, I will be from now on super excited about wearing it with no primer and the flower powder because, again, I'm very happy with how this looked. It's just not one where I'm like, A++++. It's just like an A. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like it was kind of all over the place, but I hope that I answered most of the questions y'all are most often concerned about. If not, be sure and put them down in the comment section below. I can't promise that I'm fully awake right now, so I very could have easily skipped over something. But overall, those are the thoughts on the Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. So again, thank y'all for watching. Be sure and tune in for the next video by liking and subscribing on this one so you don't miss out on any future content. As always, I hope y'all all go out and have a very blessed day.